Okay, now I'm going to show you how to copy the Lab01 project into Lab02 and as per the instructions. So I'm going to try to walk you through it because it may not be so clear. So start by making sure you have your Lab1 project checked out. If you haven't, then you can just go to Team, Subversion, Checkout, and go to your SVN, and let's browse. So let's pick Lab1. Make sure everything is copacetic here, so let's finish that. If your Lab1 is already on your computer, you can just open it up. So there we are. And just as a double check, Subversion versioning info says this is indeed trunk/Lab1 on my repository. So everything is up to date on this. So that now the next thing to do is to copy. We want to copy this into Lab2. So let's you right-click on the project, Subversion, copy to. Now our local folder, that's our project folder. Check this box, skip the selected folder and copy only its contents. And then we can either browse or we can just type in trunk/lab02. Okay, so here's our preview. That's going to be the URL. That should be a new URL for that. Don't check the switch to copy because we're going to need to just check it out. So copy to lab 2. Okay, so then click copy, and then let's see, where is it here? So in this other tab, we're copying it. And there it is. Now probably the best thing to do is just close this one, and then we'll check out copy to lab 2. So again, Team, Subversion, checkout. Go to next, and then let's browse. And under trunk now, see we have lab 2. So let's select that. Again, in this case, it'll check it out to the lab 2 folder. So let's finish that and open our project. So now the name is still Lab1. We're going to fix that in just a second, but right-click on that and say Subversion versioning info, just to make sure. See, our relative path is trunk lab2, and also the resource URL will also give that information. So Subversion, right-click, Subversion versioning info will always give you information about where we are. But now this is Lab1, and we don't want that. We want Lab2. So just right-click and let's just rename it. We'll just rename it from Lab1 to Lab2. It's already in the Lab2 project folder, so we don't need to rename that. So we hit rename, and then so there's our project properties. We see that we're in Lab 2. Have we made any changes? Let's take a look. Show changes. So there are a few in the NetBeans one, so I would recommend just committing those first. So change the name. When you change the name to Lab 2, then there you are. So before we add any more code, we want to make sure that we've committed all of these changes to the project. Otherwise, we want to make sure that we're current on that. So it's committing. I don't know what's taking it so long. Let's see. Okay, it's sending him. So it'll hopefully grind in whir, and then at some point it will be committed. And now you have your Lab 2 project. It's in your Subversion, and you can now make the changes that are described in the lab as soon as it finishes committing. I don't know why it's not finishing there, but anyway, this should be enough to get you going.